Moving on to Patient History tab. You can see when I click on it, it automatically selects my chief complaint here, as well as chief complaints at the top highlighted. On the right side of the screen I have a whole menu of options available from which to choose from. You'll also notice next to some of these menu items I have a plus sign. When I click on a plus sign, what it allows me to do is drill down to a more in-depth menu. So I click on Altered Level of Consciousness, it gives me different options to choose from. If I want to state that this patient was syncopal, I click once. If I want to report something as a pertinent negative, I can click it twice. It'll give me a little X mark next to it, and under here where it says Chief Complaint, it will state not presented as Altered Level of Consciousness or whatever you select from the particular menu. If I accidentally click that item, I click it a third time and it will deselect it for me. What's nice about this particular setup is if I go to a pretty in-depth menu, such as chest pain, let's say, I can use the little road map up here to help direct or navigate through it. So if I go to cardiac and report chest pain, that's going to ask me all different questions here. So description, if you state it's a heavy pressure. If I want to go back and talk about other qualities of the chest pain, I simply click on the part of my road map here that'll take me back. Position, left-sided, radiates, no radiation, and severity is a 5. It starts lining up all my complaints right here. If I want to report a duration of time for a particular complaint, which would be useful in a CVA type situation, I can click on the particular complaint. Down here I click on the clock, and I simply input a duration. Let's go with minutes. And it will appear right below my complaint. One feature of this particular setup is the ability to search down here. And you'll find this throughout a bunch of different menus throughout the program. It may not be as useful here, but it is an option. The one caveat to this particular feature is that it only allows you to search this first menu. So if I type in something that falls underneath a subcategory, it will not locate it. So for this particular instance, it might not be as useful, but the option is there. Moving on to mechanism of injury. This is our nemesis table, or they provided us the elements for this field. It's a requirement. You'll notice the little codes next to it, and you probably have seen a similar list to this before. If we're reporting this patient as a chest pain and it's atraumatic, we can put not applicable and move on. If I hit tab, it'll take me to the next screen, or I can click on it, whatever you find to be easiest for you. Past history looks similar to our chief complaint list. Same setup. You get the different menus you can click into. Again, if you're going to search, it will only search the main field here, or whichever field you're actually engaged in at the time. It will not search subfields that you are not currently in. You can select multiple things. You can also select pertinent negatives as well, and a third click will take away that particular thing you've reported. And as before, like our chief complaint, we have the menu options up here where we can click through to make it a little more expeditious for us. So we'll select the past history of angina. I can hit tab or click on the next item, and it'll take me down to medications here. This list is a little more inclusive. It is modifiable, so we can put in or take out medications as we see fit. The allergies and medications tabs here both operate off the same list, so anything we'll put in will appear in either one. So if you guys have suggestions for anything, for meds that need to be added that we are frequently seeing, please let me know. We can get those added in. The nice thing about this is we can search. So, for instance, tramadol does not come up. I can select Tricor. Anything else, again, it's a multi-select. You can select it as a pertinent negative as they're not taking it, or again, a third click will remove that option. If by chance you cannot find the medication they're taking, it's not in this list, click Other, and then you can note whatever you need to in this field. You can type in as many as you need. You can separate them by comma, and they'll appear right here underneath Other. The allergies list operates in the same fashion as our medication list, so whole list choose from here, and then if nothing's found, you can click on the Other and note it here. The final tab is the Other tab. All of these items in this particular menu are Nemesis requirements. I know a lot of the times we feel like we're inputting things twice, and it seems repetitive, but the national database, the state of Illinois, have different reasons for different study purposes of why they ask what appears to be multiple questions about the same types of topics. So we pick our chief complaint, this is chest pain, and we'll select cardiovascular as our organ system. Primary symptom, pain, and our associated symptom we can say is breathing problem. That's fine. Medical history obtained from patient and pregnant, no. That's it for Patient History tab. Next we'll be discussing Patient Assessment.